So, hey, y'all, hey, and welcome back to another session of Meditations with Marigny. So, this week we have been talking about the benefits of having a father and how, as a daddy's girl, how that benefited me, what things it did for me as far as my life. And I'm trying to work with this light, y'all. That ring light is not my best friend. And so, we were talking about ways that having a father in your life, how it benefits you and what it did to me. And so today, as you guys know, this week I've spent this week really talking about those benefits and how I felt that my father really impacted me. But today, my family had a gathering. So my uncle's birthday is on the 18th. And on the 18th, he will be 88 years old. And he always has this June birthdays, but for the past 3 years, my brother, who is a retired Marine, and he kind of became like his adopted son, he um, he has been hosting it at his house, and he's been doing it because my uncle is just, he's like, I'm just too tired, I don't want to do it anymore, like just the preparation that it takes. So we've been going to my brother's house. So long story short, all my uncles that are still living, they come, and my aunts, and we just had a nice time, got a chance to see my cousins and just catch up on some things. And it was just really good to spend some quality time with the men in my life, and just to kind of get that impartation and to let them just dote on me. Like they kept saying, you look just like your mom. My mom is their sister, was their sister. And they were like, you look just like your mom. I said, yeah, I see her every day. Like I really do. I see her personality, her spunkiness. She was just such a light to a room when she walked in. And when I got there, the thing is, I never go to somebody's house, even if I'm a guest. I'm always going to go in and make sure I do what I need to serve. And so when I get there, my brother is like cooking and stuff, and his wife is trying to prepare things. And I was responsible. I took all the drinks and the water. And so there were some other cousins that brought drinks and water and stuff like that. So we kind of just all collectively came in on that part. But they were cooking and things. My son got there. He jumped on the grill and started helping. And I just automatically went into organization mode. Like anybody that knows me, they knows I got to have everything in place. So I was like, put the table over here, put this right here. Where did it? And I was telling my sister-in-law, I said, hey, just give me what you need and I'm going to make it happen. She was like, okay, well, I got it. I was like, no, I got this. And so I put the drinks together, got everything on ice because we had stopped to get ice right before we got there. And just having a good time. And I began to just check on my elderly family members, hey, are you okay? Do you need anything? Because all the food wasn't quite ready. And then some other people were bringing some things and it hadn't arrived. And so then I went up to one of my uncles when he got there, the one that's 87 years old. When he got there, I went up to him and I said, this is why I'm the favorite. And I said, because I always make sure that I serve you guys. I make sure y'all look good. And I said, don't tell the rest of them. They sitting over there. I won't say it too loud. And he started laughing and he said, no, we won't say it too loud. But it is my giving spirit that even makes me stand out within my family. And I don't say that from an arrogant perspective, but I say that from a perspective that I am just a born and natural giver. That can sometimes be really good and that can be really bad. And it can be good because we often, as givers, will give and pour out with an expectation, or I used to pour out with an expectation that people would consider that same thing with me. The one thing that I learned from having, or that I'll say what I didn't learn from having my father in the house is that in many of those ways, I didn't learn to speak up for the things that bothered me. And I have learned to do that now as an adult that I did not know or have to do as a young lady. Because there were so many things that if if my father knew that my car had a flat tire, or if he knew that the oil needed to be changed. There were certain things that he just automatically did. And you grow up sometimes with a mindset thinking that everybody thinks that way, and everybody does not. So when it came to me verbalizing certain things, the benefits of having a father in the home that did those things, and having uncles that took care of me and cared for me, even like they did today. You guys know I mentioned on my video on yesterday, my uncle was like, I really want to see you, so you come down, I'll take care of your room. Well, I ended up not going. I had some homework that I needed to take care of, and I felt like I needed to really grind on yesterday in order to be able to enjoy today. And then I got to jump back in the grind tonight. And so, but I wanted to be committed to what I said that I would do. And that is that I promised myself that I would make a video every day, at least once, in order to make sure that I committed to my channel. And I'm saying that because one of the things that I learned from the men in my family is about commitment. The majority of my uncles and my uncles on this is my mother's side of the family. My uncles on my mother's side of the family, most of them were married pretty young, and they were married until their wives passed away. None of them have ever gotten married again, not because they haven't met someone. There have been a couple of times that they looked at doing that, but maybe the lady got sick or something and something happened to her. So, but I will say that the one thing that I learned from them is about commitment. Like, if you say you're going to do something, do it. If you commit to something, stay committed to it. And so I will say that that component was really good in my life as a young lady, but as a daddy's girl, I think that it could have also set a precedent that I thought that that was the way that the world was. And as an adult, I just had to learn that it's not. But I won't look at that in a negative way. Again, you guys, if you're someone that follows my channel on a regular basis, you know that I am more of a glass half full type girl than I am a glass half empty. And I was having a conversation with a family member because they're going through some things, and I said to them, like, what's going on today? Because at some point you got to change what you say. If you want to see a difference, you have to speak differently. You got to act differently. You got to walk differently. And those are some of the components that I learned from the men in my life, because they have not always been men that they were good in the beginning. I watched them evolve and grow into the men that they are now. And so, I can hear stories of my elder sisters and brothers where they saw components in my dad that were not the way that I saw him. Well, by the time I came along, my oldest sister is 19 years older than me. So by the time I came along, guess what? My dad had mellowed out in a lot of stuff. Things that he might have did when he was in his 20s, he wasn't doing that when he hit 40. So yeah, I saw a different daddy. And not that he changed as a person or who he was in his core, but he evolved and he grew and he developed over the years. And I think that if I haven't seen anything else in my uncles, their age range, I think the youngest of them that's living now might be in her late 60s, and the oldest is 87. And so I think the biggest thing that I've had a chance to see with them is watching them evolve into the people that they've become now. Many of them still drive. They still, God bless them, are in their right mind, still have great memory. They still handle all their personal business, things of that sort. Like, their children might be involved, but it is beautiful to see that they have such longevity and that they still have their life before them the way that they do. So if nothing else came out of today, I just had a chance to enjoy rich moments with the men in my life, to celebrate them for Father's Day and to celebrate June birthdays. And if you don't do anything else, just know that life is always, the glass is half full. No matter what the circumstance, you can work through whatever problem or situation that comes before you, if you put in the work and you spend the time with people that will help you to develop and grow. So if you don't get anything else out of today, just know that tomorrow I'm going to talk about something very special and dear to my heart. And I want you guys to click like if you like this, share it with a friend, and I would love for you to subscribe. Bye, y'all. See y'all tomorrow.